Florida and Houston. Major slam. He just caught a body running the floor and twisting and turning from the bucket of the foul. 1 second, and it's over. Florida is back on top of the college basketball world.
You're watching Sports Central on CBS Los Angeles, sponsored by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa.
And welcome to the March Madness postgame show, coming to you live from Cosm, Los Angeles. Good evening again, everybody. I'm Jim Hill, joined by Rashad McCants, the 2005 national champion with North Carolina, Darren Haynes, and of course the coach Dave Miller will join us shortly back in the studio. But what do you say about what we just saw? Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
That last play, I'm telling you right now, not only in LA, but all over the world, we just can't have something like that happen in the meltdown at the end of the game. And it was beautiful to see. It was devastating to see at the same time.
But, you know, while there was bad on that play, but there was good on the hustle on the other side.
Oh, absolutely. You know, the other side, you talk about guys who hustle all the time. So we look at things we expect. So for Florida, listen, they held Houston to 34%. 34%.
That's amazing.
That's incredible. And they shot 48%. So when you do that, you have better chances to win any game you play.
Those are percentages that are really extremely low in a final games like this.
Yes, but you got to look at the reason why. Is because the assists for Florida, they had 18 assists, and Houston had 11 turnovers. They missed 5 free throws. Houston didn't play the perfect game, but they had a bad game plan. And the game plan that they had was to double Walter Clayton and get the ball out of his hands, but the other guys stepped up, and that's something beautiful.
You better believe it. Now, speaking of Walter Clayton was struggling. The other guys really had to step up.
Oh, yeah. Well, you're talking about Richards, you're talking about Martin, and the big guys for Florida. They all stepped up. We call it next man up. And that's what we do when our name is called and we're the bench guy or the corner guy. We have to step up. And Clayton was having a bad game. The utility guys came in and they did the job.
But there has to be even more pressure on those gentlemen to step up and to play great when they're just used to being backups.
Well, the other things that the star does also helps the utility players. So when your star player is being taken out of the game in his offensive standpoint, the other guys have to see those discrepancies and step their games up. And Walter Clayton also took advantage of passing the ball to the open man.
Speaking of Walter Clayton, how impressed were you by Walter Clayton bouncing back from a scoreless first half?
Well, I call it stepping into the light. He stepped into the light tonight because when you shoot the ball really like bad in the first half and you come back in the second half and you figure out the small things to do for your team to get the win, which is to find the open man, to play good defense. He had the game-winning defensive stop.
And, of course, a lot of it is mental as well, knowing that even though you played a bad first half, you know you're going to come back.
Well, that's also coach confidence, you know, and team confidence. When you're the leader, you actually have the coach's confidence. You have all the players looking at you to make plays. And the one thing I loved about Walter tonight is he did not shy away from the moment. A lot of guys can get caught up in not getting the ball and pouting and moaning. He did not do that. He stayed aggressive. He made the game-winning play, and he deservingly got the MVP.
You better believe it, and what a game it was. This one, my friends, went back and forth down the stretch, with Florida coming out on top for its third national championship. A 65-63 victory over Houston behind 18 points by senior Will Richard, and a great game on both sides of the court by 6'11 sophomore Alex Condon. Your most outstanding player, Walter Clayton Jr.
Man, we've been saying it all year, man. Our motto is, we all can go, man. We got a team full of guys that could go. It ain't just by me. We got multiple guys on this go that can go get a bucket and do anything. So my team held me down until I was able to put the ball in the basket. Shout out to them boys.
Okay, so hail to the victor, right, Rashad?
Oh, what else? what else is there to say? I mean,
Yeah.
I wore my jersey specifically tonight to celebrate championship swagger. that's now what Florida has. They have the championships. A lot of people in LA, they can't find this championship swagger. But now you have it here because I'm here, and I'm here to represent the Florida Gators, the champions that I picked. Stradamus. I picked Florida. Harmon, I picked them.
You can brag on that for another year.
I got to. I got to wear the crown for the rest of my life, so I might as well just take something with me.
Why were you so confident about this team winning this tournament?
Well, it's because they remind me of our team 20 years ago. We're talking about the North Carolina Tar Heels of 2005. We had a dynamic three musketeers, myself, Sean May, Raymond Felton, and we had a dynamic coaching staff with Roy Williams, the whole nine. So when you talk about the Florida Gators, you talk about Will Clayton reminding me of myself. You're talking about Martin reminding me of a Sean May, a Raymond Felton style where they can get things going and get things, make things happen. But also the big guys. You know, they all play good. They are very athletic. But tonight was about the other guys, and I think that's what basketball in college is about. It's the total team effort. Your star player shows up, other guys step up.
And this is what March Madness is all about. All right, my friends, time to bring in Darren Haynes and the coach, Dave Miller. Gentlemen, what a finish to an incredible March Madness. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I totally agree, Jim. It's funny because, you know, the way that Houston got into the national championship, it was this amazing finish to beat Duke. And, you know, you have that saying, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. And Houston, unfortunately, they died by the sword the way Florida came back in this game. But put on that coaching hat again. You have a lot of years of coaching. When you look at this tape and like, what the heck happened to Houston in that final play?
Well, for Houston, they were going for the three, which I liked. And he had a good look until, as Mike Tyson always would say, there's a plan until you get punched in the mouth. It was that contest, right? Clayton had dropped 34 points on Saturday in the semis, so it's hotter than a South Central summer. But right there, that play right there won a national championship, and it was a defensive play. Clayton had 0 points in the first half, 11 in the second half of the game, and that is the reason that the University of Florida was going to carry on and win that thing.
Yeah, you mentioned like Walter Clayton, the 0 points. I mean, this is a guy who was, you know, back-to-back games where you're scoring over 30 points, and then you have 0 points in the first half for him. What was Florida able to do in the second half to get their offense going against Houston? And you know, Coach, the best defense in the NCAA.
Well, it was great second half adjustments. Number one, there was less turnovers. Number two, they moved to off the ball action, so they were moving the ball, less pick and roll. And, you know, Clayton didn't quit. He stood, he couldn't get open, but that was a lot of what Houston was doing. But he finished, Darren, with 7 assists for the game. So he found a way to help his team win. Listen, it's not rocket science. If you're going into that game, you don't have to have all the years of experience that Kelvin Sampson had. You knew Kelvin was going to take him away. In that very first offensive possession, he was double teamed. We'll break that down later. And then he stood and he watched. So they said, you're not going to beat us, Clayton.
Yeah.
We're going to let 4 other guys did. And that lasted for the first 20 minutes. He did not score a field goal, partner, until 7:54 left in the second half.
One of the things is they were down by 12 points. This is Florida, and literally it was the largest comeback, third largest comeback in NCAA tournament history. When you look at the perspective in regards to the comeback that they made, were you more impressed of how they were able to come back, or were you more disappointed on how Houston allowed them to come back and win?
No, because, you know, we talk about hitting first, and they took a bunch of punches, and they took it right on the chin. But you have to credit Todd Golden and his group. I mean, listen, that was the nobodies versus the somebodies, okay? There's not a first-round draft choice on that Houston Rocket team. Yeah. But I'll tell you this, there's guys on that team that will do wonders life after basketball, and that's what Kelvin stands for. But listen, they stayed the course. They didn't do anything different. You don't make adjustments. I mean, I talked about minor adjustments. Yeah. You don't change stuff. When those two teams combined were 70 and 8, you didn't see anything different other than a twitch here, a turn here, and a refocus by both of those coaches.
Now, speaking of change, Florida scored 65 points to win. Coming into this game, Houston was 33-0, holding their opponents to under 70 points. That changed for them today. They now got the L, and Florida are the champs. All right, let's go back outside. Jim, Rashad, what's going on, my man? Go Tar Heels.
All right, partner. Thank you very much.
Don't jump on the bandwagon now.
Yeah, that is for sure. But when you think about this thing, though, there are a lot of people that are saying, "I told you so," and then there are a lot of people saying, "I can't believe what I just saw."
Well, I mean, that's because we're watching college basketball's best performances. I mean, back when I was playing, 2005, we were 2 number ones. It was us and Illinois, number 1 seeds. So this is very reminiscent of that. 2 number 1 seeds. You can't take anything away from what they supposed to do. They were supposed to be here. They were the number 1 team. They got here. Only 1 winner.
And as far as you're concerned, you can say, been there and done that.
Oh, well, listen.
That's why you're wearing it right there.
Still smell fresh.
I understand perfectly. All right, everybody, stay right where you are because there's lots more on the way from tonight's national championship game. Coming up, full highlights from the Gators' incredible come-from-behind victory. And speaking of champions, Shohei Ohtani homers again as the Dodgers look to avoid a 3rd loss in the last 4 games. When we come back.